Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers that I picked up. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Blessings be to you. Peace, love, and light. This channel here isn't really what you think it is. I have been gifted with the answer to the revelation, this revelation right here. 1318 Revelations Bible Hub. I've been gifted. Here is a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and his number is 666. I have decoded this parable. I've decoded many of the revelations that are in the Bible. There are far more deeper meanings than what we're being taught. I'll give you an example right here. Revelations 22:13 Bible Hub. Revelations 22:13 Bible Hub. See, I asked this guy here the other day. Give you an example. Give me 1 second here. Kevin's biblical discussion. So I've watched 2 of his videos. When I watched this first video, I thought that he didn't mention anything about Jesus Christ, and this happens a lot. A lot of people talk about God, talk about God, talk about God. They draw you in talking about God, and then, then you get the real story later about how they are. As you can clearly see, I've left many comments here in this thread. Now, I need everybody to understand that maybe listening to this message 1 minute and 42 seconds in now, that I challenge people in these types of discussions. I was 1 hour and 17 minutes into this guy's discussion. Here's Kevin right here. Kevin's biblical discussion. And like a lot of Christians, what he does is when he is challenged with from this guy, Chris May, on the side. This guy here is a Gnostic Christian. He believes that God exists, but he believes that God is one God. Now, the Gnostics have a lot of twisted doctrine as well, but they have a lot of true doctrine. All right? So, I left all these comments on his channel, and as I always do, I ask questions. I was talking to him, and I asked him if he'd like to do a debate, and he's like, no debate necessary. Read John 1:1. Jesus is the Word. That is God that became flesh. Okay? So he's wanting me to read John 1:1. Okay? So if we go to John 1:1, Bible Hub, and we look at the parable here, it tells us that in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning. Okay? This one here also aligns with Genesis 1:1 Bible Hub. Because I asked him this question. I'm going to show it to you. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Now let's go to his response to me asking him this question here. I am the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and end. So I'm here at his channel. So real quick, let me touch a couple of these dialogues between him and I. No debate necessary. Read John 1:1 through 19, which I have many times. Jesus is the Word that is God and became flesh. That's a lie, okay? Because God is spirit. John 4:24 says God is spirit, okay? And those that worship God must worship God in spirit and truth. So he's all telling me that Jesus is the Word. I ask him, are you sure about that? Okay, the reason why I show you these contexts is because I go back and forth. God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should change his mind. So I do everything with scriptures. Acts 2:22, listen, men of Israel, Jesus of Nazareth was a man certified by God. Jesus of Nazareth is a man. It doesn't say, this is your writer, Luke. Luke is the one that wrote this, Acts. Luke is telling you that Jesus is a man. It's not saying that Jesus is a man and fully God, okay? By God. Look, Jesus of Nazareth was a man certified by God to you, miracles, wonders, and signs, which God did. God did the miracles, and he performed those miracles through Jesus, which you yourselves know. Jesus never performed miracles. God performed miracles through Jesus. And I show everything with scriptures, folks. This is my whole thing. So he's telling me to read John 1:1, the very first parable in John 1:1 is, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Okay, this can be confirmed by this parable here. I am the Alpha, the Omega, Jesus says. I am the first and the last, Jesus says. I am the beginning. The beginning. What's the beginning? Well, I just showed you. The beginning is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. Notice God here is Elohim, and Elohim is something that is used. Okay? It's also a plural. Elohim is a plural. Well, what is plural of Eloah? It means gods. This God here is where you're getting your Trinity from. Gods in the ordinary sense. But this God is used of the supreme God. This is not the supreme God. This is the beginning. This is Jesus. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. See, this is why probably a lot of my Hebrew audience has left me, is because I don't give praise to this God here that created this earth. This is what you got to understand. Okay? Look. Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. Revelations 13:15 Bible Hub. Now you guys can fact check me if you'd like on these. Pull the parables up yourselves. Read the entire chapters. That's what I get told a lot by Christians. You can't just read one parable and get the context of what's being said. That's a lie. You get the context of what's being said by lining up parable upon parable, precept upon precept, line upon line. That's what I'm doing for you right here, right now. Jesus is claiming that he is the beginning, okay? So we need to go to all parables that are saying in the beginning, okay? This is how you do line upon line, precept upon precept. In the beginning, God. Now, in Revelations 13:15, excuse me, give me a second here. It says the second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast, so that it could speak and cause those who refused to worship it to be killed. The second beast here is permitted. Something was permitted. This something was permitted. This God that is being used. You see, this God here was permitted. It was used to create this reality construct, a materialized world. Flesh, Satan, this God here is the God of flesh. This God here is the God of death. Why would I say something like that? Because the beginning is time. This is a commencement of time, okay? Time, order, or rank. You got to understand that in order for creation to take place, all time, space, and matter had to come into existence all at one time. In the beginning, time, God created the heavens, space, and the earth. Matter, time, space, and matter. Okay, if you're going to create matter, you have to have space to put it, right? And then if you're going to create it, you got to know when it was created. Well, it was created in the beginning. So the beginning here is is what you call a commencement of time. Jesus is the beginning, okay? I ain't just saying this stuff. I'm showing you the parable right there. Jesus is saying, I am the Alpha, the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning. Jesus is the beginning. When is the beginning? It's the very first parable of the Bible. In the beginning, God. This God here would be plural of Eloah. It's a gods in the ordinary sense. So this isn't the Supreme Spirit that created this reality. Now, what you got to understand is later, because in Genesis here, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. I hope you guys hang on around for a while. I lose a lot of subscribers as fast as I get them. And I'm just trying to share information with you to bring you into the light of the creation story, to help you understand about duality, how duality exists. The Supreme Spirit, the Creator, says that He's one God, right? But yet you feel like you're different from me, and I feel like I'm different from you, and that we all each have our own individuality. Well, why is individuality important in this? Because so this God here created man in His own image. So right away we have a problem right here. We got a God who's creating a man in His own image. And then you have Exodus chapter 20, verse 4, Bible Hub. And then you have the God here. Look, this is so simple to put out for you guys so you understand now. Okay, Exodus 24, what's it say? You shall make for yourself an idol. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, the earth beneath, or the waters below. Excuse me. So we're being told here, no idol. Okay? Putting it together for you. The sixth day of creation. Okay? This God created man in His own image, and an image here is an idol. This man that's created on the sixth day of creation, mankind, when you add the total sum of the word mankind comes to 66. Mankind is both female, male and female. Okay? Right here, male and female. Mankind is both male and female. Mankind adds up to 66, and when you add the sum of the female, it comes to 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. That is 666. The sixth day of creation has everything to do with the parable that I started off this morning with. Here is a call for wisdom. Let the one with insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. When's the very first time that the word beast is used in the Bible? Right here, Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. That's not what I wanted. I meant 25. Okay. In the beginning right here, Bible Hub. Why did it do that? Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. It's right here, Genesis 1:25. See, the beast is crafty, right? You got to be more crafty he's more crafty than any other beast of the field. This is the beast of the field right here, the beast of the earth. God made the beast of the earth according to their kinds. Okay? Satan is crafting himself inside of the Bible by calling himself a beast, and then he's wrapped up the beast with the livestock and has made you guys think that the beast and the livestock are one and the same. They're not. The beast here are the United Nations. These here are your beast nations. Right there, man.
Watch out for 666. Watch out for 666.
Right here, 666 has everything to do with Genesis. Right here on the sixth day. This Revelation 13:18 has absolutely everything to do with the sixth day of creation right here. So God, this God, not the supreme God, this is not the supreme creator, okay? Now you got to understand, this God's called Elohim. I'm trying to teach people that just because the word God exists inside of the Bible doesn't mean that it's the supreme creator. It means that it's something that is used of the supreme creator. This was something that you got to understand, that the spiritual creator created a body, okay? He created a heavenly body, spiritual bodies. This is why Satan will never be allowed back into heaven, because when he sinned against God, he fell against God spiritually. There wasn't a material world created yet. Everything was a heavenly body. Everything was connected to source. Everything loved and was one. Everything was one, connected to the source. and then something was created that didn't ever have the Spirit of God on it. And God didn't create this heavenly body with his Spirit on it. He made this spirit the spirit of the dead. You understand? Duality. The creator, the supreme creator, the living spirit of truth, the omnipotent force that moves all things in place, created another spirit, himself, one God. God is both good and evil. You understand? He separated himself from evil. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. This is the beginning of the fall. That's what it means. When God created the heaven and earth, this is the one that was permitted right here. The second beast, Genesis 1:27, was permitted. The second beast that was created, that man that was created in Genesis 1:27, was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. The first beast is Genesis 1:25. It's the very first time that the word beast is used in the Bible. God made the beast of the field, each according to their kind. 666 here is an identification marker. Okay? Underneath your skin. You put that liquid, you put liquid metal in your skin, you put animal DNA, possibly children's DNA are used in this stuff. That shot was a very nefarious thing. It was the mark. Okay, I don't want to scare you like that, but check this out. Everything on this plane of existence is the mark of the beast. Okay, everything, all of it. Let me give you an example. The Washington Monument stands 6,660 inches by 666 inches. It was designated October 15th, 1 + 5 is 6, 1966, and it took 6 years to build. Why did we have to stand 6 feet apart? And we're buried at 6 feet under. The Earth goes around the sun at 18.5 miles per second, which is 66,600 miles per hour, all while flying through space at 2,843,666 miles per hour. The curvature of the Earth is 66.6 feet of curvature to 10 miles, 6,666 feet of curvature to 100 miles. If you have curvature on a planet, we're living on a spherical globe, how can a periscope on a submarine see a ship that is over 50 miles away or 20 miles away? When you have all that curvature, you would have no line of sight. So everything that I talk about, what does that mean? Images of the flat earth? Fighting flat earth theory. Everybody's against it. They just don't want people to know any longer. This is an inaccurate thing because everything that we view is through conscience. This world isn't even real. The materialized world that we live in is an illusion. The faster people understand that, right here, this man that's created in an image is an illusion. This man created on the sixth day is an idol, an illusion, and phantom. A phantom's noun is a ghost. So a ghost's definition is the spirit of the dead. So this God that created man in his own image, look, when you look at the word him is properly self. This God created himself in an image, which is a phantom. This is the dead. This is why the flesh is dead. This is why to live in the flesh is evil. Spell live backwards, it's evil. The reason why the Spirit, the Supreme Spirit, allowed this God here, which is Jesus, because Jesus is in the beginning, Jesus is the end, Jesus is the beginning, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, right here, in the beginning. This God here is Elohim. Elohim is plural of Eloah, which means that it can't be the supreme creator. So in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, the beginning being a commencement of time. This is confirmed. This is how you read the Bible, folks. Okay? You read it precept upon precept, line upon line. Now we got a second beast that was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. The first beast is Genesis 1:25. The second beast is Genesis 1:26 and 27. When you add those three parables, 25, 26, and 27, they come to 78, and 7 plus 8 is 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. Revelations 13:18 has everything to do on the face of this earth about those created on the sixth day of creation in an image of God. They're not the same as this one here, the Lord. You see, the Lord is the eternal. This one here is the eternal, and they also give him those in the providence today, the Gentile race today, they call the God Jehovah. The Jews, the true Jews, not those, these are not, these that call God Jehovah in the providence of Jerusalem today, they are a race that has hijacked the Bible. They're not even a real race. They're imposters. The real true children of God call God Yahweh. Well, I don't call God Jehovah or Yahweh. Why would I make such a statement as that? Numbers chapter 23:19. God is not a man. That's why. God is not a man. Jesus Christ is a man, okay? If you're calling him a fully man, you're screwed, because God is not a man. The Supreme Spirit, the Creator, is not a man. He is spirit, that he is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man, Jesus Christ crucified, that he should repent. Hath he said it, or shall it not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall it not make good? So, folks, this God, the Supreme Creator in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, this one here is molded from the ground, and this one has the breath breathed in of life into his nostrils. This second creation, the man and woman in the garden, look at the difference, the context of what I'm telling you. The man and woman in the garden, that is not the case with the sixth day of creation. This man that created himself, him properly self, definition of self, a person, essential being that is distinguished them from others, especially considered as an object of introspection or reflexive action. Synonyms for self is a character, the ego. Okay, this is big, ego. Okay, if you live in the ego, then you're living in the flesh. The flesh is self. The flesh, self is individuality. Okay, individuality, check it out. Properly self, this God created properly self, this God created himself in an image. An image is a phantom, and self, individuality. Why is this important to me? Because duality, this man, properly self, that created himself, male and female. Look, why doesn't this read, so God created him and her, male and female, he created them? Why is it only one man? Because this energy force here that's been created is a transgender energy force. This is why you had Dylan Mulvaney in the White House.
Mr. President, this is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
Thank you. I am extremely privileged to live in a state that...
God love you. God love you, huh? What God? What? Ooh, do I get fucking pissed on this shit? It just annoys me. Revelations chapter 21, verse 8, Bible Hub. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, the abominable, faggots, and murderers, and sexually immoral, LBGTQ&A, and sorcerers, hand readers, palm readers, card flippers, fucking magic men, anybody practicing sorcery, and idolaters, and all liars, their place will be the lake that burns with fire and brimstone. This is the second death. When you exhale your last breath, the fire and brimstone's what's coming for you. That's the second death. Okay? So, what God do you think that Joe Biden's worshiping when he says, God bless you? He's talking about this God right here in the beginning. Jesus in the beginning. This is Jesus creating himself. This is why Jesus says he's the flesh. Jesus ain't the flesh. I mean, the Supreme Spirit, the Creator, the living God, isn't flesh. Jesus was flesh. Jesus created himself in an image. This is why the Supreme Spirit is telling us not to worship any graven images, because the Spirit wants us to worship him in spirit and truth. So he permitted something without the Spirit that wasn't living, that was arrogant, prideful, right? Why do I say that again? Because it has an ego. It created itself, himself. His identity was a queer. That one that's created in the sixth day of creation was given power over the beast of the field. That's this one right here in Genesis. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1, Bible Hub. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? And the woman answered the serpent, we may eat from the fruit of the tree of the garden, but the tree in the middle of the garden we shall neither touch nor eat, or we shall surely die that day. And then Satan says to her, you shall not surely die that day, because God knows in the day that you eat thereof, your eyes shall be open, and ye shall become as gods. This is Jesus right here. He's the serpent. He's the one that comes into the garden. He's the one that coaxes Eve. And it's proven right here. Is it not written in your law that I have said ye are gods? So you have Jesus here, 1034, telling you, written in your law. What's the law? The law is the Torah, the genitive case, the first Bible, the primary meme. The God doesn't change. Remember that, folks. Malachi chapter 3, verse 6, Bible Hub. Because I, the Lord, change not. You descendants of Jacob have not been destroyed. So the Lord doesn't change. Well, that's a problem. Hebrews 7:2. I was going to guess 7:2, but for the priesthood being changed, hold on. God don't change. So if God don't change, then there was a priesthood that was changed. That doesn't make sense. There is made a necessity, a change also in the law. What's that change in the law? That's the New Testament writings. Because Jesus is telling you straight up, man. Okay? Where's he at? Give me a second. Didn't have it up. Do not think that I've come to abolish the law. The law is the genitive book. It's the 5 books of Moses. Now understand, the 5 books of Moses are not the original text. Remember that Moses was reading to the people out of a book. That means that he was reading a book from one of his ancestors, one of the books that have been removed from the Bible, the 8 books that have been removed from the Bible. Remember, the Bible had 74 books in it initially. Now, there's 66 books. There were 8 books that were removed from the Bible. The book of Enoch, Keys was removed, and a couple of the tablets of Thoth. All these different types of hieroglyphs that have been written on these tablets and stuff. The story is all the same. Do not think that I've come to abolish the law, Jesus says, or the prophets. So if Jesus didn't come to abolish the prophets, then why were the prophets changed? Right there, for the priesthood being changed. Well, the priesthood shouldn't have ever been changed. So we got to ask ourselves, why was the priesthood changed? If God has an everlasting covenant with his own children, the children of Israel, then you have to ask yourself, why? Now, as I read the entire Bible, and I have been doing so for a long time, I see that the God of the Bible, the Israel Bible as well, also changes his mind and says different things. So the more I point this stuff out, this is why I don't give praise to the God named Yahweh. Let me be very clear. Anything that is a man, I give no praise to. Exodus chapter 15, verse 3, Bible Hub. Okay, the Lord is a warrior. Lord, Lord, Lord. Look at the Lord, okay? The Lord also is by the name here, Yahweh. Yahweh is a man. Literal, standard version. Yahweh is a man of battle. Yahweh is his name. Waking people up to a system that we live in. I have calculated the number of the beast. It's Jesus Christ is the number of the beast. He is 666.
Linking all its bearers to the system's central brain. The master computer that over them will reign.
A cross on the forehead. Ah,
666
Jesus is 666.
and their computer chip
Under their computer chip,
that is designed to strip
designed to strip your self-control. Don't sell your soul, folks. Don't sell your soul. Iron Maiden, Nature of the Beast. Oh,